Welcome back to the Dragon Den, my loyal Dragonites. King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Abti-Monitor. And so here we have the Abti-Monitor pose and out of the packaging, and unfortunately he doesn't come with any accessories. So with that being said, let's actually jump straight into his details. McFarlane has decided to go the classic route here for the Abti-Monitor. He looks exactly like you would expect him to look from Crisis on Infinite Earths. The head sculpt is done really nice. I especially love the work that went into his eyes. His eyes are this really nice metallic yellow, and the mouthpiece that he has on him is also fantastic with his teeth sculpted as well as some fantastic detail in his throat. His dome also has some yellow panel lining on the top of his head. And we do get some slight panel lining on the sides of his head as well. As you would expect, Abti-Monitor does have on his signature Abti-Monitor armor. Abti-Monitor has some great detail on his armor, where we do have some tubes running from his chest all the way to his back. McFarlane has also done a really good job matching the blues from the blue plastic and the blue paints. And on his back he does have his backpack where all his tubes are connected. Unfortunately, he is using marbleized plastic, which does take a little bit away from the figure. His shoulders are nicely done in this blue plastic, where we do have his tubes running from his shoulder pads onto his gauntlets. Just like with his torso, his arms are still made of that marbleized silver plastic. One thing to note is that his elbow joints are made of a gray plastic. His gauntlets are also made of a marbleized blue plastic, where once again we do have his tubes connecting onto them. And then we go on to his open hands, which have some really nice sculpted detail. Abti-Monitor does have on a pair of blue trunks, which do have some nice work on him, especially in the yellow tubing. And then he does have one panel line which goes all the way around his waist. Continuing along with consistency, the sculpt work in his legs is done exceptionally well. And then we do have some yellow tubes running from his thighs all the way down to his boots. Just like with his elbows, his knees are made of that same gray plastic. Abti-Monitor is wearing a set of ginormous blue boots. There is some nice sculpt work here on his boots, where we do have some really nice panel lining and the attachments for those yellow tubes. Abti-Monitor also has rather big and rather pointy feet. So overall, there's some great detail here on Abti-Monitor. It is unfortunate that he is made of marbleized plastic rather than having these nice shades painted on. But with that being said, let's actually get Abti-Monitor compared to our usual suspects. Here we have the Abti-Monitor pose next to Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman. Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. The Lightning Collection White Ranger and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally we have the McFarlane Toys Abti-Monitor pose next to Mattel's DC Universe Classics Abti-Monitor. So as you can see, he's not really the biggest mega figure that we've had a look at, but at the same time he's also not the shortest. It would have been nice if he was a little bit taller, but I can overlook that because he's still a really solid figure. So with his comparisons out of the way, let's run through his articulation. The Abti-Monitor has a ball joint in the head, ball sockets in his shoulders, arms go out to the side and do a full 360. Swivel at his bicep and a double hinged elbow. Swivel hinge in his wrists. Ball joint in his upper torso and a ball joint in his lower torso. His legs do kick forward, kick back, go out to the side, and have a slight thigh swivel. Double bend in his knee. Ball hinge in his ankle, and finally a toe hinge. So overall, Abti-Monitor has some great articulation, a little bit limited in his shoulders just because of his armor, and as you would expect, his head is rather limited. But he still poses really nicely, which is what we're all about here. So with everything said and done about the Abti-Monitor, let's get him posed for my final thoughts. McFarlane Toys has done a great job taking the classic Abti-Monitor from the comics and bringing him into action figure form. There's so much detail on this figure to love. I especially love the blues that McFarlane chose for this figure. I feel the face is a really selling point for the Abti-Monitor because it looks very good with the sculpted eyes and his sculpted mouth. And being the classic Abti-Monitor, I feel a lot of people will be drawn just to his classic look. One notable downside of this figure is his size. Now unfortunately you can't make a comic accurate Abti-Monitor, but this is still a smaller figure for mega figures. It would have been nice if Abti-Monitor was a little bit taller, because that's pretty much what Abti-Monitor is all about, being so much larger than life. Add to it, it is quite noticeable that they did use a marbleized plastic for the Abti-Monitor. It would have been nice to see an actual silver paint and actual metallic blue used for him, but overall I still feel like Abti-Monitor here is worth the pickup. If you're a fan of the Crisis on Infinite Earths and need an Abti-Monitor in your collection, this is a really good figure to own. He is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video, so keep your eyes out for the Abti-Monitor. And with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other DC Multiverse videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, and as always ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.